It is the final day of the UKIP party conference in Bournemouth and the first full day in charge for the new leader Diane James, who said yesterday her party is now the opposition party in waiting. In a victory speech, Ms James said she was deeply honoured to win the leadership and appealed for unity within the party. But in a sign of the potential difficulties she could face in the top job, when asked what Diane James brought to the party, the leader of UKIP in the Welsh Assembly, Neil Hamilton, said, "Search me." Well, Mr Hamilton's comments came after he was told he wouldn't be taking to the podium to give a speech at conference today. Mr Hamilton's slot was instead given to the North Wales AM and Diane James supporter Nathan Gill.
Well, I think it's very perplexing that on behalf of Wales tomorrow hear from somebody who's not a member of the UKIP group rather than the leader of the UKIP group in the Assembly. To be a leader, you need followers. And I've been democratically elected as the leader of the group in the Assembly, but it's up to Diane James who she wants to hear from at the conference tomorrow. Maybe she thinks the conference is too exciting and that it needs a bit of a sedative, so I understand that. But I don't think that this helps for no reason at all. I've not, in fact, even officially been informed that the agenda has changed tomorrow, to be taken off the speakers list and my slot given to somebody who's not even a member of our UKIP group in the Assembly.
Well, we can speak to Nathan Gill now, who joined us on the line from the conference in Bournemouth. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Right, Neil Hamilton's clearly not happy about that decision. What's your understanding of what happened yesterday?
I was asked if I would be willing to speak at conference. I said yes, I would, and the agendas were changed, and I'm speaking at conference.
I mean, why do you think Diane James made that decision?
I think she's sending a very clear message to the entire party that you now have a new leader and we all need to get behind that leader, regardless of who we supported during the campaign for the new leadership, and also regardless of people's personal ambitions and what they want to achieve for themselves in politics. If we're not united behind the new leader of the party will fail.
I mean, the message seems to be, though, to people like Neil Hamilton, who are in the what was the anti-Farage wing of the party, I'm in charge now, don't try and do anything silly.
Yep. Absolutely, I can't disagree with that. That sounds like a very strong message for a leader who's going to be very strong.
But it's not going to unify the party necessarily.
Well, listen, I once described leading UKIP as trying to herd cats, and quite frankly, it at times does feel that way. I think we need a very strong person at the helm to put us in the direction that we all need to be travelling in, and if people don't want to travel in that direction, they're more than welcome to leave.
I mean, you spoke earlier in the week about a bloodbath within the party. I appreciate that wasn't your word, it was a word put to you by a reporter, but what did you mean by that?
Sure. Well, basically, I think what's going to happen is a few people are going to be questioning their positions within the party. That's for them. I mean, quite frankly, if you join a political party and you have the same ethos and will and direction and belief in the membership and the leader, then you need to get on board and get going in that direction. It's no use trying to be, standing on your own and trying to lead things in a different direction. It just is not going to work.
I mean, do you think you will see changes within the party in Wales and the Assembly group? Do you think people there might reconsider their positions?
I'm not sure. That's for them. I mean, obviously Neil feels slighted and is going around to anybody in the media who will listen to him to put forward his case. But the reality is that as well is not helping the party, is it? I mean, I didn't feel slighted when I wasn't on the list to speak. I just figured, well, I've spoken at 8 conferences in a row. Maybe it's time to hear from somebody else. But I was asked to do this, and I'm more than happy to back our leader and do what she's asked me to do.
What does this mean for you now, then, in your position? You clearly have the backing of the new leader. Will your role as Wales leader be reaffirmed, do you think, as much was made of the fact that was a Nigel Farage appointment?
Absolutely, and we haven't had discussions whatsoever. Pardon me, sorry. I don't know, it's early days. This is the honeymoon period. Diane, as you said, this is her first full day as leader. She's got a lot to consider. Wales is just a part of that, and we've got a bigger challenge ahead of us, and that's dealing with the NEC and dealing with the constitution of the party, which is going to take a lot of people's efforts for quite some time ahead of us. But what she's done is she has set forward her stall and she has said, here I am, come and join me come on this journey with me, and this is the journey I'm going to take you on. To be the official opposition, that's a big challenge, but in UKIP we like big challenges. We took on the EU and we won. We're going to become the official opposition.
But just to clarify though, then on your position, you obviously you haven't had discussions about whether you'll remain as Wales leader, so presumably then you're going to remain as an independent AM for what, the foreseeable future? For
the foreseeable future, absolutely. But I am a UKIP MEP. And a member of UKIP, despite the fact that the NEC expelled me from the party and then immediately sent me an email and said, please send us an email back to say that you want to be reinstated, and they immediately reinstated me. I mean, what was that all about?
I mean, things have changed though, haven't they, in the last week or so? Caroline Jones has now said she would stand down to replace you as MEP. The whole reason you said you couldn't stand down was there was no one to replace you. That doesn't stand anymore.
Well, and Diane James has said that she's not welcome.
Who's not welcome?
And Caroline Jones is not welcome to replace me as the MEP. So
why not? Why wouldn't she be welcome as an MEP in the party?
That's for you to interview Diane James about.
Okay, but in terms then of your position, that there is someone who could take that on. You made that promise. That's the problem, isn't it? You made that promise back when you stood for election, saying if you became an AM, you would stand down as an MEP. Why can't you fulfil that now?
Well, because there's nobody to replace me, and Caroline Jones caused this problem in the NEC meetings early on in the year. She was given the opportunity to say, yes, I want to be the MEP. I will not stand for the AM. That's what she was asked. She couldn't make her mind up. She kept on changing it. As all of this hoo-ha has been developed by Neil, all of a sudden Caroline has gone from a position of, no, I'm very happy to be in the Assembly, I'm very happy to be in AM. All of a sudden, out of the blue, she changed her mind again. Well, she'll probably change it again next week, so that's not very good for the people of Wales, is it?
Well, just finally then, will you be taking a more active role in the Senate during the next term? There's been talk that you haven't showed up much really. You have only taken part in one vote at the end of the last Assembly. If you're talking about what's good for the people of Wales, they elected you. They expect you to be there.
That's a pretty cheap shot. I was a Brexiteer. We were fighting the Brexit campaign, and I spent my entire time driving up and down Wales, going to every single meeting I was invited to and creating our own to fight for the Brexit.
But you were being paid as an AM.
Let me finish, please. The entire raison d'etre of UKIP. To then be accused by UKIP AMs who thought that sitting in an assembly chamber being watched by 10 people was more beneficial than actually fighting for the Brexit, that's pretty bad.
But that's the job you've been elected to do.
I'm the hardest working person in politics. And quite frankly, if you think that any of the votes that I didn't vote in would have gone a different way if I'd have voted, please point those out to me, because they wouldn't. Okay,
so do you intend to attend the Assembly more then, or not?
You mean like what I did this week? And sit through all of the debates like I did this week? Of course. And the same with when I've got important things to do in Brussels, I will be there for that as well.
Okay.
As I say, if you need something doing, ask a busy man.
Okay, well, good to talk to you this morning. Thank you very much. That's the Assembly member Nathan Gill, the leader of the party in Wales, of course.